I made my first game in only 7 days, and it's actually fun. I want to make video games, and I have had previous attempts. But game development is surprisingly kind of hard, so I've never actually finished a full game. And that's why I'm going to try finish an entire game in just 1 week, starting now. The first thing I needed was a game plan. And after a lot of thinking, I came up with this. The idea was very complex, but essentially, the player has to parkour across a bunch of platforms in order to beat the game. I knew this game needed 2 crucial aspects. Number 1, fun movement. Number 2, guns. The plan was perfect. Now I just had to make the game. So immediately I set up a level and made a beam for the player. Now you can look at the player from this kind of side view angle, but as of right now, you cannot move, so let's do that. Here's how to add character movement. It's pretty simple actually. So first thing you have to do is set up the key bindings. So in my game, you will move with the A and D keys. Then you have to open the player's blueprint interface. This is where we're going to code everything. Blueprints is a lot like regular coding, but instead you get to play around with these awesome brick things. Now this should be all you need to get the player to move. So let's test it. Uh-oh. No wait, this should fix it. Don't even worry guys, eventually I got it working, and you can jump as well now. I also added camera lag, so that the camera kind of lags behind the player a bit, and then I added sprinting, and then I was like, yeah, that's probably enough. Day 2, I started working on crouching, and it was a little bit buggy at first, but then I got it working, and it looks pretty cool. But I did say this game needed fun movement, so what I really wanted to add was sliding, like in Fortnite. So immediately, I got to work on trying to make sliding, and this was pretty difficult, but I basically just did this by disabling all of the players' friction once they crouch going at a certain speed, and now it works, which is pretty sick. The last thing I did was add a speed boost when you jump and then slide, so now you can like bunny hop around, and this is actually really fun, so I reckon I've already ticked off fun movement. I guess making games is actually pretty easy. All I have to do now is add guns. I started day 3 by making this very detailed pistol model. And then I just had to work on letting the player actually pick up the gun. And I mean, this just went swimmingly. Eventually I got so fed up that I had to simplify the gun design even more by deleting the handle. This did not fix the problem. This took a very long time, but eventually I got the gun to attach to the player, and after making it rotate, I was happy to put the handle back on. So now you can pick up the gun and point it around. I just have to make it shoot. On day 4, I made a bullet, made it red, and now you can shoot. I also added recoil, and then I messed around and made everything glow in the dark, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, I feel like things are going a lot better than yesterday, and I've pretty much finished making guns, so I think I'm definitely on track to finish this game by day 7. On day 5, I realized I was not on track to finish this game by day 7. Now, the first problem is that the gun can only shoot in one direction. You also can't drop the gun after picking it up. All the bullets go straight through walls. There's still nothing to actually shoot at. And there's this weird glitch where you clip through the ground when crouching between 2 ceilings. So at this point, I knew I had to get to work. I fixed the crouching issue by casting this extra circle over the player's head. Then, I got the gun to change direction by dividing the viewport into 2 and using that to find which side of the screen the mouse is on. Then I fixed the fact that you can shoot through walls by casting a line trace and deleting the bullet once it hits something. And then I let the player drop the gun, which went really well. Only joking. I was still hard at work on day 6, and I figured out how to let the player drop the gun. Then, I started implementing enemies. Then I gave the enemies health and made everything glow in the dark again, so that it looks cool when you kill them. And then I started making a main menu, and I came up with this intriguing name for the game. The menu only has 2 buttons, but I think it looks pretty good. Then I also made a death menu, and made the player die when they hit an enemy. But right now, the enemies just kind of stand around, so I think I'm gonna have to make them attack the player. So now it's day 7, but making this video has taken far too long, so I actually can't be bothered doing more editing. Basically, I just made the enemies run and jump at the player, and this is actually kind of scary. And then I just worked on improving the level, and I added this unique boss enemy. You can't really fight the boss because it insta-kills you, so you just have to like hide under this ledge and slowly put it out of its misery, and the whole time it's like flashing as well. I probably should have put like an epilepsy warning or something. Anyway, the game's done, and I think it's actually pretty fun. Look, here's me playing it. Yeah, this is my first game, and also my first video, and I will be making more, so subscribe.